With that down, let's talk about this. You know, the other day we talked about the story that we are now a year out from Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. And we're all excited about it, of course. But they just did something that I have never seen done before. They're putting at least the IMAX tickets on sale a year in advance. Now, at the time when we were discussing this, we said, this is a pretty interesting move to really make this upcoming Christopher Nolan a true event. Like, you're buying your tickets a year in advance. I think
it opens a year from today.
It's a year from today.
The 17th, yeah.
And Jonathan was saying, like, they're going to be people saying, sorry, I can't come to your destination wedding. I've already got July 17th of 2026 booked. Like, you're planning vacations now around this thing. So that's what they were doing. We thought it was interesting. Well, the tickets went on sale last night. I went into the theater to watch Superman for a fourth time last night, and I had a great time. Theater was packed, by the way. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So I go in at about 8 o'clock to watch the movie, to watch Superman again. I come out, reactivate my phone, and now it's about 10:15. The tickets went on sale at 9 p.m. At 10:15, I come out and I see, oh, Rob texted me. Well, I wonder what Rob's doing.
My boy Thomas Logan sent that to me from Florida.
Sold out. Now, in an IMAX theater, I count anything beyond the first two rows as sold out, but this was at 10:15 last night. Sold
Those
out.
are real ones.
So this morning, I go over to the official page. I go over to the Odyssey page, and they bring up the list of all the theaters that then, remember, these are the true 70 millimeter IMAX screens, blah, 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 right? I'm like, all right, let me see. It's a year out. They just went on sale last night. Let's see what old Johnny Boy can find for some tickets. All right, I'll check out the Regal Irvine Spectrum. I really like that theater. I really like going to the Spectrum. Great. Load it up here. The 2 p.m. show's grayed out. Well, no, let me click it. Ticket availability. This movie time is sold out. What? Okay. All right. No
Try
biggie.
another time. We want you to see it.
No biggie. Let me check out the TCL Chinese. All right.
Oh, that's the one to go to, man.
Oh, grayed out. Ticket availability. This movie is sold out. All right. What about Universal City Walk? AMC Universal City Walk. Nope. No movie times available. There are no more movie times. All things are sold out. Okay. All right. Where is it? Let's try San Francisco. Anything there? Look at that. It's orange. That means there are tickets. Great. Maybe I'll have to drive up to San Francisco. Let's load it up and front row. Oh, but there's a batch of 4 at the back. I was telling Jonathan earlier, I think, because I looked earlier and that was totally sold out. So somebody must have canceled 4 tickets. So if you're in San Francisco and still looking for tickets, there are 4 left. 4 left, unless you want to sit in one of the wheelchair accessible ones at the front. Anyway, I went down through this list earlier today.
What about the Czech Republic, John?
You know what? I got to say, I've not checked the Czech Republic. Let's see this. The Czech Republic Theater.
Because I'd love to go there to see it. We should fly there and make a date of it.
All right. Now, my Czech is a little rusty, but I believe that says, fuck you, we're sold out. Pretty sure that's exactly what it says in the direct translation from the original Klingon. So not only did they have the audacity to put these tickets on sale a year in advance, dude, they sold them out. They sold them out. Now, again, you might be lucky and find single seat here and there, but like essentially, they sold this thing out in hours a year in advance. Again, the idea was to get people buzzing and talking, make an event, and now this thing is true. This is a year-long countdown clock to this movie now. And I had somebody ask me today. They said, what do you think makes more money? Avatar 3 or the Odyssey? To which I said, well, and I might have said this on the show before, Avatar 3 is a potential $2 billion film. Odyssey is a potential $1 billion film. So clearly it's going to be Avatar 3. I'm not so sure about that anymore. Because if Christopher Nolan can make a period piece biopic about a nerdy scientist, and that movie comes this close to joining the $1 billion club.
I see Oppenheimer.
You were asking for it.
I was, I guess. What are you going to do now when you follow that up? You have arguably a top 5 most stacked cast in the history of cinema. And instead of a period piece biopic about a nerd, and I say that with all due respect, you do a fantasy sword and sandal epic Homer adventure. Rob, have we been wrong? Is Odyssey maybe a no one's going to sit here and say it will make a $2 billion, but is it a potential $2 billion film? Anyway, what were your reactions when you started seeing these tickets selling out, and what do you think about the overall chances of the film?
Well, it was funny. That thing I sent to you, my friend Thomas Logan, who's a longtime watcher of my own channel, sent me that image. Like he was watching this happen, and I couldn't believe, I thought, come on, this is fake. Of course, he's not prone to sending me fake things. So I was like, oh my God. Again, I like seeing people excited about movies, and I hope we're going to get a re-release of Troy. I want to get the director's cut of Troy because it is kind of, if you want to see a prequel to the Odyssey, watch Troy. But I think that, Chrissy-Ann, man, don't bet against him. He's like Johnny C. Or Jamie C. Johnny C. Jamie C. You don't bet against either one of them. And I think that, look, $2 billion, I don't think so. I don't think that unless you go there and have some kind of divine experience in the theater, I don't think it's going to make $2 billion. But I do think it's going to be Christopher Nolan's biggest grossing movie yet. And
so you're thinking this is going to outgross
Dark Knight Rises or The Dark Knight, or I only because this is a great way to hype it up, because it is. I mean, this could be the most Christopher Nolan of Christopher Nolan movies. I mean, he's a genre unto himself. He really is. And when you go see a Christopher Nolan movie, I wouldn't be surprised if he's playing with time. Like if it begins where you see old, you old Odysseus, let me tell you, son, about the story I had. I've got I don't know how he's going to do it, but I'm sure it's going to be not a straightforward sword and sandal epic. I think it's going to be something, we're going to get the Dunkirk, of the Odyssey. I don't know. I just think he does a great job of, you talk about movies being experiential events. Oppenheimer was an experiential experience.
Yeah,
truly.
it was truly really.
And he nobody brings you that, and he's developed it over time. Christopher Nolan gives you, even though Tenet is not my favorite of his films, that was truly an experiential event. Watching it in a theater in IMAX, it was like, wow. I still
and
quite.
When that movie was at its best, when I understood what the characters were saying.
Right.
Oh my God, when I knew when I could understand what the characters were saying, that movie was humming. It was great.
Yeah, and I love that movie has a great ending.
It does.
And that's
it
a
really
great
does,
ending.
yeah.
And but seeing it in the theater, look, he provides an experience the way no one else does. And I think people are going to go, man. I think people are going to go. I think it's going to be his biggest grossing movie ever, even though it has no Batman in it.
You know what? I'm going to completely
it?
agree. Because I'm starting to think that 2 billion, I'm starting to think 2 billion might not be completely unrealistic. And so because of that, I think 1.3, 1.4 is totally within the ballpark.
Yeah.
And that would make it his highest grossing film of all time. So I think you're right about that. By the way, just a big shout out to Raymond Badilio, who sent in a super chat badge just to be supportive. Thank you, man. Appreciate that very much. By the way, just before we end, I got to make a little confession here.
Uh-oh.
You were talking about something that spurred me. I meant to confess this earlier. for a long time.
We're not going to get in
confess?
trouble if you confess.
No.
No cancellation.
For a long time, people would always say, oh, the greatest difference between a theatrical release version and a director's cut is Kingdom of Heaven. I've heard that for years and years and years.
That's absolutely true.
And for years, I have completely disagreed. I'm like, I really doubt that. I don't see how a director's cut is going to make a difference to that okay movie at best. And it's an okay movie, but there's no way. I discovered about a week ago that I confused, I'm going to bring it up on screen. I confused the Kingdom of Heaven for the Jamie Foxx, Jennifer Garner, The Kingdom.
Oh my God.
For over 10 years. For over 10 years, when people would talk about that, my brain was just wired to think about The Kingdom. Like, there's no way the basic structure of this movie, a director's cut is not going to make much of a difference.
It's a big
Kingdom
difference
of
between
Heaven,
the
yes,
Kingdom
it
and Kingdom of
does.
Heaven.
So
Wow.
for 10 years, I've totally been thinking about the wrong movie, and I just wanted to confess that publicly, that I am human. I made for 10 years, I've had the wrong impression of something.
Since you brought that up, can I give a shout out to 20th Century Studios president, who I like to call the quiet king of franchises, Steve Asbell, because Steve Asbell has 20th Century Fox, since their library was taken over by Disney, physical media has been zero. We haven't gotten anything.
Yeah.
And they took over, Sony's taken it over, but because of Steve Asbell, we got the Kingdom of Heaven director's cut on 4K, and they announced yesterday officially that their next release that comes out in the beginning of August is Master and Commander in 4K, which is another wonderful,
remarkable movie.
remarkable
Master
movie.
and
It's like the best Star Trek movie that isn't Star Trek.
Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.